John Franzen,
Yes, sir.
the man. Bumped into you. I just got done doing the opening deal at the NFR.
In the sacred hallway.
In the sacred hallway.
Yeah.
Tell me about the sacred hallway.
Man, if you get to walk down it, like you either accidentally took a wrong turn and you're in trouble, or you're where you're supposed to be.
Well, yeah, I think I might have taken a wrong turn.
No, I'm telling you, like, that was pretty cool. I watched some of your stuff, I think they give you a buckle and wasn't it some stuff that they give you?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like it's what we're all trying to do when we grow up to be cowboys is walk down that hallway and then end up at the buck and shoots, and you did it all.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't on my bingo card.
Yeah.
To be able to get a buckle at the NFR.
Yep.
I worked hard for that buckle too, just in a different way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's a cool thing about NFR in general is like so many different ways to get here.
Yeah.
It's not just, there's contract personnel, people that work their whole lives being a disc jockey finally gets, It's just it's really cool to be able to get to walk down that hallway.
Yeah, there's so many people involved in it.
Yeah.
I think I was making them nervous because that little T right there where it all comes together.
Yeah.
So all the athletes are walking right there, and I was doing my best to just linger right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lady because right when you get done with that, you have a little green room there, and you get all your stuff off you, and then they take you to your seats,
Yeah.
And then I was pouring a drink, and I was like, oh, it's foaming up a bunch. Hold on, let me well, I got to get another one. It's like walking. She was like rolling her eyes or whatever because everybody's walking by. I was like, let's go, boys. And I was high-fiving everybody. Yeah. She's like, we got to get you to your seats.
Nah, I wish I had got you down there right afterwards and we'd have gone into where the back rooms.
Oh, yeah. That'd have been sick.
Yeah, it's awesome. There's a certain kind of pressure that completely leaves everybody when you go back into the locker room. They're just all
chilling.
Yeah, we're just all guys, the TVs are going and they turn it all off. It's going so we can see where they're at, but they don't want to hear all the commentating and all that. They're just sitting there. The Canadians are smoking cigarettes and, there's other guys taking shots of whiskey. And, a friend of mine that hurt himself the first perf, he's just slamming beers because it's the only thing that makes him feel better,
Hey, it's better than doing some other stuff.
And then he goes out there and kicks butt. It's not hurting him anymore.
It is fascinating to ask different people how they handle pressure and handle nerves. Yeah. I think it's just different for everybody.
Yeah. It's really cool. In the bareback riders room, you got Tilden Hooper. He's just stoic. He's just chill. Nothing bothers him. And then you pan around the room and you see Rocker and he's got his headphones on and he's just his eyes are wide open. You can feel electricity coming off him and it's just everybody's different. It's really cool.
Yeah, it seems weird to try to tell people you need to handle pressure in this certain way. I've noticed commentators, regardless of sport, they're always, ironically, some of them have even been in the position before, but you could be watching golf or something and they'll talk about it just seems like he wasn't focused, wasn't taking it serious. I'm at this level, what do you mean not focused and not taking it? For me, the focus, regardless of what you're doing, if you're doing it at a super high level, the focus and the taking it serious happens months and years in advance.
Yeah.
To judge somebody based on how they're handling nerves is so odd to me because everybody's so different. I like to joke around. And granted, what I'm doing is far different. I'm not going to go out there and get stomped.
But you're keeping your mind off of it.
I'm trying to be loose and jovial. I cannot stand just sitting in a pressure cooker in a green room and everybody's just tight and looking at you well, what are you doing? And it's secondhand nerves, Yeah. It's let's freaking relax. Come on, let's joke. But sometimes people take that as you're not taking it serious.
Yeah, that's not that. I agree with you. It's the preparation that you had for years to, and that, Stetson, he's just in there laughing and giggling and whatever. He's just a kid having fun, and then like you said, you can just look across the room and somebody's working on his saddle, and he, is changing this and changing that. You can just tell he's fighting his head.
Yeah,
he's fighting his head. But it's a really cool room to be in and being able to do that. And I missed the finals, wasn't able to make it, in the Bulldog, and that was kind of always my dream to flank a bucking horse, then walk down the arena and run a Bulldog and steer. But being able to still be in that building and work, work really hard to get there just in a different way.
Yeah. So you were a Bulldogger.
Yes, sir. Yeah. 20 some years. I still enter once in a while, but I'm semi-retired. Like I'm very choosy on where I enter. I'm not like.
Where do you normally like to enter?
Well, now I really need to be entering the small rodeos because I don't practice anymore. But like the small rodeos, there's not a lot of horsepower, so like it's kind of tough. All the guys that I rodeoed with that are making the finals, Rowdy Parrott and Ty and everybody and Stetson Jorgensen, and they're still going, but like their best horsepower is usually at the rodeo where you got to go against the top 20 in the world, that still work at it every day. And every once in a while, it just kind of depends on like I'll enter Caldwell for sure. Like that's a great road, like good rodeos that, you got good cattle, good horsepower, good hazers. Like, yeah, there's nothing like
that's so sick. You're still getting in there.
Yeah. I think that, I've always said being a stock contractor, there's so much more than just taking care of the stock. There's a lot of it. Most of it is production and, committees and how it all fits together along with the stock. And when I was rodeoing, I didn't realize it, but like I'm going to 120 rodeos a year as well as Powder River rodeos. And I didn't realize at the time, like I'm figuring out what works and what doesn't at all these different rodeos, from the West Coast, the East Coast, down south, what works in buildings, what doesn't, as far as the little things like parking for contestants and their hospitalities and, how their opening acts, play towards our crowd, or how like alcohol sales are a huge thing in rodeo. You get into Utah, they don't have any beer at their rodeos. Like it's like nothing. But then you cross the line into Idaho, and one night the beer sales alone will pay for all the contract labor. Like at Caldwell, I mean, they'll make $300,000-$400,000 in beer sales, like the first perf family night.
I wonder what rodeo do you think? Well, I guess that's not fair because they're all kind of like different time frames. I wonder who has the record for a day, like on taking out like the NFR or something.
I'd absolutely say Pendleton. Yeah.
Really?
Well, mainly because their performance is so long. Like you got to figure on like a lot of rodeos, they're only want to go 2 hours, like at the very most. But like Cheyenne, Pendleton, some of them, like they're 4 or 5 hour performances. Yeah. Like
and there is something about
and their afternoon performances, which also makes a difference because like they stop selling alcohol or people are going home. Whereas if you start your performance at noon, by the time it gets to be the other noon, you know what I mean? By midnight, people are like, that's a good shift.
And make no mistake, people up north,
yeah, absolutely, all day
can drink.
Yeah, yeah. They don't even act like it bothers them.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I'm not that way anymore. I'm starting to slow down a bit.
Starting to hurt a little bit.
It's such a big part of our business to be social, not necessarily drink, but you know what I mean? Like to be social and to be out there with your committees and your people. It makes a huge difference on how you get contracts.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, just like, once you know somebody and then you see them, then all of a sudden you want to know more about them. And then by the time you get to know them, that opens up a whole box of new people that can either elevate, your business or whatever, and then get you to the next step.
It is interesting. People will refer to like good old boys clubs and stuff like that as such a negative thing.
Yeah.
When I can understand how it can become too exclusive and nobody can get in there. And sometimes it might not be based on like merit.
Right.
Which sucks. At the same time, like there has to be part of being friends with people and like networking is knowing like, I mean, it's like getting a referral from somebody like, hey, this guy, I mean, that's how I kind of met you in a way. It's like, at least you have some sort of frame of reference. Like this guy is not a total douchebag.
Yeah.
Right. There's some other people I know that like him.
Yeah.
So it is interesting when people refer to stuff like.
Well, that's the first thing that Chancey said the other day. I was like,
he's not a douchebag.
Yeah. He literally, that's what he said. He's just like, dude, he's just like us. That's exactly what he said. And like, when he says that, it gives you a sense of, oh yeah, we're just regular, you know what I mean? Like there's not this, certain way that you got to act or whatever. You're just like, we're chill dudes that work hard for a living.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah. Like in our world, the bar is like relatively low.
Yeah.
For just not a douchebag.
Yeah, it's really, like, can I or can I not get along with him?
Yeah, because so many guys have just the shtick, and then Well, and then a lot of them are artists, so like they're not terribly social sometimes, and they're like a little bit awkward. So I think what helps them get out there, like I empathize with it because they're typically like really great musicians or something, but they're socially really awkward.
Yeah.
So they kind of have to like develop this persona.
Yeah.
To give themselves the confidence to go out there and,
Right.
and do the thing, but then they have a hard time like shutting it off, or they don't know when to.
Yeah.
And that starts to get dicey, you know.
I can see that.
And you know, I can't say it like really resonates with me because
Yeah.
I'm just like am who I am. I'm like I
Yeah.
just in the same on stage as I am off, and so that sometimes it's hard to find people to connect with because you're just like whoa.
And people's perception of you, like on social media and behind a camera, is so much different than like, hey man, I would like to meet like I don't know the guy's name, the Red Clay Strays.
Oh,
like
Brandon.
that. Yeah. So I think his music's cool, like, and everything like that. But then you see him kind of behind a camera, like not singing music. You're like, I'm not sure what he would be like to meet. Like until you'd actually meet him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, he's kind of like I heard on stage. I haven't seen one of their shows, but apparently he's like I've only seen videos where he's like kind of doing the Elvis thing.
Yeah.
But apparently he's kind of like pretty stoic.
Yeah, I don't know until like I sat down and had a conversation with him like you. I don't know what I would think yet.
Yeah.
But like if you knew somebody that knew him and told you like, oh dude, like once you break the ice, like once you sit down and chill with him, like he's way cool. But I don't know that.
Yeah,
it
for
might
sure.
be really weird.
Yeah, so I would imagine do you think the competition between stock contractors is too much at times, or do you think it's like positive competition?
The best way to put it is there's only so many rodeos to go around.
Yeah.
And there's only so many contractors. And for me to get a contract, someone else has to lose one. So
It's a zero-sum game.
yeah. And man, it's tough. It's
But
tough.
I mean,
Like, it's a
any
tough
type
business.
I don't care if you're the local dry cleaner, you know, in a small town. If there's another one popping up, like
and that's the biggest problem is everybody expects you to not like go get that contract. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like, oh, he got that, so I just don't like him anymore. You know what I mean? And then the competition between like my horses are better than his horses, and it's just like that all the time. Like there's people, and then they're very, very cliquey. Like, you know, you'll have a group of 4 or 5 contractors, and then like they only sub with those guys, and they only bring them to their rodeos, you know, and then vice versa. And then what's really, really not a lot of fun is you get hired by a committee because they, you know, we really, you know, John, we really want you to come to this rodeo. Well, when they say that, that's great. I'm excited to go. But in the same sense, I know that somebody else is going to get fired for me to go. And then when you get there, you might get thrown in a clique that you're not necessarily, everybody wants you to be there. So it takes a while. And same kind of deal. Like once you get to know them and everybody realizes I'm just in the business to buck my horses and put my rodeos on and get better and make a living, like everybody pretty much understands we're all doing the same thing, you know, but there's a lot of hatred in the stock contracting world. Like if you go in the stock contractor room, like there's 20, 30 chairs or whatever, and they all just sit there and stare at the TV. Like there's no, like very seldom, like, is there nice conversations going on? Like just because, and then the people that kind of get along, like I don't even go in there, and I'm probably, but I go in the bareback rider and bronc rider's room. But those are my buddies. Like I'm still at an age where like they still, like we're pals, you know? And they think of me maybe as a stock contractor, but I mean, they know that I've rodeoed for a long time. Like I'm a contestant as well. Like I went through the same trials and tribulations as they
I wonder
have.
do you even think like guys get shitty for you even talking about how there's not very much camaraderie?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's something that people don't even talk about.
Oh, there's so many things that like, it's like forbidden to talk about the stuff that actually goes on. And, you know, to talk about how cowboys are calling you, wanting to know, you know, what performance is the best performance to get the best chance. Like all that stuff happens. Like there's so much politics, like, and they're the worst politics because there's nobody governing them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's some shady shit going on.
Ironic too, because like the cowboy rodeo world you'd think is like all I don't know. Well, we just tell it like it is, and we are who we are, and we don't,
Yeah, and there's a bunch of us like that.
Exactly.
Like, I don't apologize for anything that I've done. That's how I was raised. I'm, from the north,
Well,
and that's kind of how we do things.
If you actually do something that's worth apologizing
yeah,
for.
well, yeah, but exactly.
Yeah.
But like, there's plenty of shady stuff that goes on that doesn't get mentioned, or and it's just kind of the way they do stuff. I mean, there's like, for example, like there's bulls here at the finals that contestants own that they run underneath other contractors' cards. Like that's like a huge no. But like we all know it happens. Like, and we all know that it's happening, but it's kind of like, well, we know it's happening, but we're not going to say nothing.
Yeah,
it's just you're exactly right. People think that it's just straight up like nobody's doing.
Which some of this
stuff
I don't think is like actually that shocking. It's actually more weird to like try to cover some of
it up. Right.
Honestly, like that seems more weird to me.
It was, bodacious. He one of the most known bulls ever. He was never owned by the guy that the card he run under. You know what I mean? Like he was owned by another guy, and that's happened all over for years, so.
Yeah.
But being straight up about it, we have a partner with D&H Cattle, and everybody knows that. We like make sure everybody knows, you know what I mean? Like kind of went about it differently rather than hiding it. So.
Explain the mechanics of that. Why is that frowned upon? Why is that shady?
Well, like far as somebody else owning the animal, well, in the PRCA, the rule is that you have to own 100% of your animal for him to come to the NFR, or he has to be owned 100% by your partner. And the way they got around it forever is I've got the card and I'll buck your animal, but I'm not going to pay you for it because I can't, And then when you started getting all these partners, then it was kind of legit. And then now, well, yeah, I'm owed what that bull makes or horse makes because I'm a partner in this deal rather than you having kind of the blanket permit to get him to the rodeo, I guess. So.
Yeah. So how does that work out with y'all partnering with D&H?
Yeah. So 20 years ago, we started a partnership and just a handshake deal. And I was.
But they out of Oklahoma?
Yes, sir. Yeah. They're they're well known as the best bull breeder in the world, and they're raising 750 to 800 bulls a year, and that was kind of why we got out of the bull business. Is I'm trying to do all this, with the horses, and then I'm sending bulls down to him that are going to the PBR, and they're sending bulls to us to try to get some bucked, and I'm like, first of all, Wyoming's not a great spot to raise bulls. Like it's a colder climate. It's really tough to raise a bull like they're raising, and they're raising all of these and winning futurities and doing all the stuff. Like they needed a place to buck them at PRCA rodeos, and so I just was able to concentrate on the horse side of things and let them concentrate on the bull side of things. They had already won, PBR Stock Contractor of the Year numerous times, and they're the best at what they do. Absolutely. Any person that has bull genetics this day and age has page breeding. Like
no doubt.
That's just is what it is. So being able to bring that to my rodeos, like bring Sweet Pro's Bruiser to your PRCA rodeo, like that's a big marketing deal for my rodeos. They can say that they seen the world champion bull so many times on TV. That was before Cowboy Channel, It was big to see a bull on TV because PBR was about all there was.
Yeah, sure.
And then when you could bring them to them rodeos and people could start, oh my goodness, like that's Bruiser and that's Flapjack and all of them.
Huge.
So, yeah. So that was big for our company.
Did people kind of get weird about y'all doing that?
Yeah. Well, they actually tried to get us out of the PRCA. Like there's people trying to sue us.
Y'all are good. Yeah, no sweat, man. Yeah, no sweat. I appreciate it though.
Yeah. No, people. They knew if you opened it up, all the people that had been bucking their animals, kind of, I guess you could say illegally, they were getting them qualified and stuff and didn't own them and stuff. They knew that if we started doing these partnerships, like everybody was going to have to start doing it, and they just didn't want that to happen.
So how many more of those types of partnerships have came out of it?
Everybody.
Oh, okay.
Like there's maybe only 2 or 3 contractors even left, and I don't even know if that I can't even think of one right now that doesn't have a bull guy or a horse guy, depending on who owns the card. Like everybody, Benny Butler, the Butlers, they may be one of the only ones I could think of off the top of my head. But I mean, Stace and Pete and everybody's kind of got a guy that's their bull guy, or
everybody hates the first person through the door.
Oh yeah, no, they didn't like it at all, and then now it's like, well, beat them or join them.
Commonplace.
Yeah,
isn't
absolutely.
that funny?
Yeah, and like I said, that was 20 years ago, and it was frowned upon at first, but like after people realized, like, well, I can really start concentrating on bulls, or I can start concentrating on my rodeos and horses, and I mean, just elevated rodeo for sure.
Sure.
Yeah. So we've been. My biggest deal is stock contractors are like, this is how we've done it. This is how we've done it for 100 years. This is how we're going to do it. Like my granddaddy did it, and and like I've been completely opposite of that. My dad's been, my folks have been really good about allowing me to like social media presence, and my wife's always getting content, and people don't. For example, 2-3 days ago, I went out and took some footage of the feeding process of the NFR. Nobody knows that, like how it works. And we posted this video, and like just an hour ago, like somebody else posted like what actually goes on where we can't feed our own animals and can't take care of them. They do it, and it's like blowing up. So being a trendsetter in our industry is like cool and it's good, but then it's also like you catch a lot of flack like right away because it's just not talked about. Like nobody knows how the stock's taken care of, but that's also what needs to be talked about. People should know about it.
I know, man. That's what I'm saying. Is some of the stuff that's scandalous.
Yeah.
They act. I'm like, dude, you're talking about feeding your animal. Why is this a big deal?
So, and I posted that video, or
it's the
my
whole
wife
point
did.
Of like, I don't know. That to me is like the actual freaking.
They should have already been doing it.
Yeah,
They should have had a
no-brainer.
segment on Cowboy Channel about how it is. I mean, it's not like they're doing anything wrong or bad.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'd like to feed my own feed rather than switching it and stuff like that, but they're not doing anything wrong. Well, I took that footage. I didn't realize it, but I guess we're not supposed to video out there. And I just got an email 20 minutes before I got here. It says, remember, no videoing out at the pins.
Good
like,
gosh.
I'm probably going to get slapped with a fine
Well,
or
it's
something.
I'm out of the. Obviously, I can't get fined or anything like that. Yeah. I mean, granted, yeah, they can. I already got my buckle.
Yeah. I know,
No, I'm just
right?
kidding.
I know.
I'm not kidding. I don't want to be disrespectful at all. But
No,
yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
There's there is goofy stuff that I just don't understand why it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And to like shroud stuff in such secrecy and to focus on like some sort of like, especially with the animal stuff, with like the animal rights activists and all that kind of stuff, like the idea of kowtowing to some of these people, like Shark or the ASPCA and stuff, where their ultimate goal, it's like in their mission statement, is to like, you're not allowed to own an animal, like not even a dog.
Yeah.
That's their goal. So if that's their goal, why do we even worry about them complaining?
Yeah.
Why? Their ultimate goal is to completely shut it down. Yeah. So there's no winning with them. So why are you even trying to appease them in any? Yeah. And I don't know if that's where some of that stuff comes from.
It does. I mean, that's something we fight all the time in our business. And I'm the same way. I don't think that we're doing anything wrong, so there's no reason to hide it. If anything, we need to exploit what we do. Like show that it's all good. So
it's happening with everything, like whether it's music or just anything that's media driven or entertainment based. People just want to see the kind of just the raw, unfiltered.
Yeah, just somebody to sit there and talk about. I've never sat down at a dinner table somewhere where I don't get asked the most random questions that you'd think would be common knowledge. Not even really about the NFR, just stock contracting and like how we get the animals there and all the things that we do every day. It's really not something anybody knows about. So doing these podcasts and stuff and talking about it I think it's great. I think it's what we needed in rodeo.
I had Flint on. I don't know. I guess that was like a month ago or something. We had Flint on, and we were talking about the one where everybody thinks you wrap the flank strap around their balls or whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, the amount of times that I've heard that,
it's nuts.
It is nuts. It is nuts.
But I'm telling you, like since I was a kid, like I've had to say that to people at my schools, like when I went to college, you know, and like just people have no idea. I was like, do you realize most of them are female? Like most really, other than the actual bulls, but like on the bucking horse side of things and stuff, like the best bucking horses in the world a lot of times are female. You know, just yeah. What?
Thought it was a big old stud.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they're not stallions.
Stop, dude.
Nope, they're not.
That one hits.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's crazy that and
Which okay,
no
but,
knowledge of it.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it's not their. Yeah, it's nobody's fault. It's not actually making fun of anybody. The only time I make fun of somebody is if they're like really acting like they know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
Then
when
it's
they're
like,
trying to tell you, no, that's not how that works.
oh, that's what. But somebody just not knowing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it would be awesome. I would actually make an event out of that if you could watch somebody try to do that.
Right. Yeah.
It'd be like extreme sports.
Rapper. That's the true extreme
I mean, like,
sport.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, Lord knows. I mean, half the stuff going on at those like ranch rodeos and stuff like that. Dude, I went to a chuck wagon race it was like my first one basically that I went to. I mean, I've seen him and stuff. But Chase Outlaw, he does one out there in Arkansas. They do that big one. And then he had a first year one at his house. And then they bucked a bunch of really nice PBR bulls out there too.
I bet it'd be wild.
Dude. The one where they just drag people on like a rubber mat.
Yeah.
And then, dude, the track they had was like huge.
Hide race.
Yeah. And just dragging people out. I almost did it, and then I was like, it's probably not a good idea.
Oh, man.
They paid me really well to go out there
You'd
and play.
still be sore.
Well, yeah, I'd freaking break a leg or something. And it was just wild. And then, setting off all those, like they got, 5-year-old kids out there running those wagons, those little ones.
Yeah.
And they're shooting off fireworks in the back. And, dude, it was wild.
Yeah. Some of the stuff that we've done, and that's why I kind of look at it differently too, is like when we buck chuck out on the salt flats and all that stuff, like that's what rodeo needs. Like we can elevate this sport like way higher than it is if we get it out there of how cool it is.
Yeah, and I can appreciate respecting tradition and history.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you don't want stuff to just get completely out of control.
Really, it's just getting it out there of what we already do. It's really not changing anything. It's just talk about it, show people. That I think that would go a long ways in our business.
Why do you think there is a resistance to that?
Well, no, most of us old stock contractors, they don't. I mean, still flip phoning it. I mean, honestly, there's not a lot of younger generation coming up because you can't get in the business. You have to buy somebody out to get a card. So it's not like a young guy's going to come in these businesses that are worth $3, $4, $5 million. You know what I mean? Like, and it's built up. And the only young guys coming in are the ones that are second, third generation. Yeah. So like, there's just not a lot of younger generations coming up that do a lot of, TikTok and Facebook and all that. And then like our generation started to do that. I started doing highlight videos of my animals, 10 years ago when people didn't, and it was tough. Like I used iMovie, it was not easy. And then now with all this, like it's just kind of got so much easier to do and everybody's starting to do it. They're like realizing we need to get that out there because, a committee might not know who you even are, but like social media presence, I got people that know all of my young horses and how I do everything. And like, they want to know more and be a part of our deal just because they see it.
Yeah. What was the bucking horse? What is it? 1 night ago, 2 nights ago? I don't remember which one it was that they were honoring. Oh, no, it was freaking Virgil.
Yeah, Virgil.
Yeah.
Virgil and then Lunatic Heaven, they, for winning Horse of the Year, they just turned them out in the arena. And,
I saw people posting videos just of those horses, and they went crazy on TikTok.
Yeah.
So it's like people even want that. And the amateur viewer like just doesn't even realize how the part of the animal. Yeah. Like they really don't, like in general.
No. And like one of our two buck chucks got a huge following, especially after the Casey Fields Unbroken documentary we did with him. But like Craig at Midnight, he was a 2016 world champion bareback, but he's like 1,700 pounds. Like he's bigger than Virgil, and like had this, like everybody knew Craig at Midnight. Like Facebook page, like a whole deal for him. And like people come to the rodeo when they realize like they'd follow Powder River Rodeo and come to a rodeo where he was at so they could watch that particular horse buck.
I think that that's just like the coolest.
Yeah. And well, that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm so fortunate to be able to be their voice. That's all I'm doing is I'm putting them in a position to be successful in that business. You know what I mean? Like I put the stud together with the mare, and then I foal them, and then, you know, I groom them for 2-3 years, and then get them in the right place at the right time with the right cowboy to get them here, and then have them have a chance to win somebody a gold buckle. Like, and that's why I become such good friends with a lot of the cowboys, you know, the Wrights and Bruno and all those guys. I'm really good friends with them, but like they know how much time and effort I put into getting that horse just right. So when they come here, Bruno was 87.5 on Miss Valley the other night. Like that's one of my best buds and on my horse. And like, I had to have her in shit, you know, I'm just her coach basically. And then to see him go be successful at the highest stage of rodeo, there's no bigger stage. Like this is all we do all year.
And it's years in the making.
Yeah. 40 years. My family, this will be our 40th year. And that breeding program, like we really hang our hat on one brand animal, you know, like that's big to us. We don't have a bunch of different brands. Like we raise them and like kind of have like a franchise, you know, you're putting this, you know, these small rodeos on, trying to figure out where them horses and animals need to be. And then you start picking and you start putting together your lineup, you know, and then hopefully you got them in the right spot when it's time to go to the big show.
You ever gotten shit from, because like you're talking about stuff getting passed down from generations and there's not a lot of new people that can really get into it.
Yeah.
You ever get shit from people for having like a successful, I guess, family that you like stepped into the business?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, well, you had everything handed to them.
Yeah. I mean, there's a general consensus of most people that think that stock contractors are just making a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, he's a stock contractor. And nearly every good...
Most guys have other...
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, building skyscrapers and oil field, everything. We are actually one of probably 2 or 3 of the stock contractors. And I don't know, don't quote me on that, but like, this is what we do for a living. Like, we don't do anything else. Like, I'm driving a truck, like to try to make stuff meat and stuff. Like we've built it from the ground up. My dad, he was a shoeing horses, and my mom was working at an insurance agency, and like they tried to get a loan. They wouldn't even, like 2 young kids trying to buy a rodeo company, and it just like the right people were at the right time and got lucky and got into the business. And then it's been, you know, paying off debt their whole, I mean, you know what I mean? We're just trying to make
working
it.
At it.
The thing that keeps you going is the success of your animals, because otherwise, I mean, we don't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
We're just here working hard to try to, you know, enjoy kind of our kids doing what they love and what we love, you know? As I was thinking the other night, you know, talking about that hallway, like my dad's walked down that hallway, 40 years in a row. Like, and for me to be, I mean, I'm 38 years old. I don't know any different. But, you know, going back to your question, there's a lot of people, they think that it's just, you know, sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, man.
And it's definitely not. I mean, there's lots of rodeo companies that have money and stuff, but that if you asked them, you know, about the rodeo business, they'd probably have the same feeling of how hard it is and how hard you work to just have that one moment, you know, on the back of the bucking chutes. There's a kid that just had for the first time had a bucking horse here, never had been, and like I could just see it, like how nervous he was. Like he was asking me questions because there's so much stuff going down there. Like there's a certain way you do things, and like timing of when they roll the horses in, and you know, when Viva Las Vegas goes off, you've got X amount of minutes before they roll them again. And, you know, if you've got a big horse, like there's certain fines, you know, you got to make sure you're at the horse that you're going to flank one horse before you get there or whatever. Like there's just a lot of little things that people don't realize that goes on here at the NFR. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't
So
say
that kid in particular, like, did you try to?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like
is that uncommon?
Oh yeah. And he could tell I'm like his age, like, and he's one of the younger contractors that, you know, are coming in, and like, I could see he was nervous, and there is a lot of things that you don't know. So I was like super happy to help him. Like, and I didn't do anything, but I answered all his questions and told him all the things. Like, for example, you have to get a hold of a certain guy if you have a horse that stalls, you know, that they might need help out of the chute. Like, you got to ask a certain guy that tells the other guy to be there, you know, because it's all like, it's like the secret menu at In-N-Out Burger. Like,
because we need to make it as difficult as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
There is an attitude that's bred out of that I don't like. That I've dealt with it because I didn't get into any sort of like rodeo horses, nothing like that, until I was getting out of high school. I mean, I grew up in Decatur, so everybody I grew up around, I mean, obviously it was like,
yeah,
you know, I was around some freaking G's out there. But I just wasn't into it. I didn't come from it. My family wasn't into it. And so, like, I started shoeing horses, and my brother-in-law was into all that. So he taught me everything. So it wasn't until later in life. But, you know, I dealt with, you know, some people that were not very welcoming, right? When you're just trying to learn.
Yeah.
And like, I was always, you know, I didn't ever just try to put on something I wasn't. I would ask people and be like, I mean, I had to ask somebody, like, will you teach me how to rope?
Yeah.
Will you teach me how to swing a rope? Like, I didn't have somebody put a rope in my hand when I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
So I had to learn it, which I empathize with some people that have I mean, I guess, like, you know, it takes a level of humbleness to put yourself in uncomfortable situations where you just don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you're a little nervous, and you're just like, you look like an idiot. And you know, it kind of sucks because there are some people in this world that, like, if you don't, you know, if you weren't raised with it and you're a little unsure, they're gonna like make you feel like shit, even though you're like sitting there hat in hand.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what
I'm doing.
You
and
know?
well,
So
you don't know what you're doing. I know. I just said that.
Yeah, you don't have to freaking shame me.
And that it, like, I can't imagine. Of course, and I grew up differently. Like, I'm on the other side of it. Like, I grew up a horseback in the arena, like, not just a cowboy. Like, and not only that, but the bucking horse side of things. Like, people want to come a lot of times and work for us. And you know how hard it is to teach somebody to work and be around bucking horses rather than a regular horse, or being around, you know, oh, well, I grew up on a ranch and we run a bunch of cows. I'm like, that's great, man. That's absolutely nothing like that. Like, not even close. And the only way you get better at it is being around them, like, every day and knowing each one personally, because they all have a different persona. They got all different personality. Like, so they come and they're like, well, heck, I'll load your bucking horses for you. I was like, no, like, I mean, and no offense, but, like, no, I can't teach you today. You want to be around for a year, 2 years? Like, one of my best friends and hired man is Craig Rowe, and he's been with me for like 19 years. And, like, he's still to this day, like, there's certain things that I do that he's like, no, that you do that. You know what I mean? But, like, you know, pushing the horse out of the chute, like, that's a huge job. It's not just a flank man. You got to know that horse and know his tendencies to be, you know, like, tell the cowboy, whoa, just give it a second. Like, she's, you know, fixing to spring out of here. Like, just hold on just a second, take a deep breath. And then, you know, you can just feel him kind of relax and step up and then go. You know what I mean? It's no different than a racehorse in a you know, in the starting gates. Like, there's a certain feel to it where you know that they're ready, and it takes a really long time. And it's not necessarily, if you've done it 1,000 times with other horses, that's great. But if you don't know that particular horse, like, sometimes you get down to the NFR, a lot of contractors are big money guys that, like, don't actually work with their stock, and they'll just have whoever flank them or whatever. Well, yeah, that guy's flanked 30 years. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, but he doesn't know that particular horse, like, and exactly what flank he takes. Like, there's an art to it if you've done it a long time. And the same way with, you know, turning horses out, like running a neck rope, you know, like telling the cowboy, take a deep breath. Like, I can feel the energy coming off of you. Like, as soon as you get in that saddle, like, things are not going to go well. Like, just take a deep breath and then get in. You know what I mean? Like, because horse, you know how horses are. I mean, they can feel a fly on their back. You don't think they can feel a cowboy when he's nervous? Like, especially so the other night, the E-Pen, like there's a lot of, it took longer for the performance to go, but like they were the rankest horses alive, and those cowboys know it. You know what I mean? Like things had to be just right, but they were also like on edge. Everybody was, the horse was, the cowboy was, you know, so there's kind of took longer in the performance just because of that.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's wild, man. There's a
lot on the line. Take your time.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah. The idea of feeling the energy of a horse. I haven't been around like bucking bulls a ton.
Yeah.
But yeah, horses, man, there's a lot of people that think that whole kind of, when you start talking about like the energy and they can feel it and all that, people sometimes get a little bit, I don't know. It sounds a little hocus pocusy, but it's about as real as it gets.
Oh man, like I can tell you, like with Miss Valley, Cade Bruno, he's been on her, like this might have been 4th or 5th time, and we've changed a few things here and there or whatever, and like she's got this thing where like she's gonna blow up in the chute once for sure, like it's gonna happen. So like once he gets her pulled, like I'll always rub on her shoulders and try to get it out of her a little bit. That way he's good when he gets in there. And the other night, like I could feel like she was tight still. And I told him, when he got in the saddle, I was like, Cade, be ready. She's going to try it. Like, and as soon as he got in there, and he caught the swells right in the chest, but he knew it was kind of coming, and it like
didn't knock the wind out of him.
You just knocked the wind out of him.
It did?
Yeah. And which is crazy for cowboys. Like, you know how hard it would be to just get
the wind knocked out of you, then
quick, and then everybody being like, all right, there he is, nod, and you're still, you know.
Crazy.
I mean, it happens all the time.
How quick after that did he nod?
Probably 15 seconds.
Just
yeah.
Let's go.
But like he knew it, we knew it. But like if you don't know that horse and you get caught by it, like if he wouldn't have known it was kind of coming, like it could be bad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it could get something. You know, and that's her thing. But like you're also, I mean, she was a high marked horse that night. Like you want her, like you absolutely need her. But I don't want to just get all of that out of her. Does that make sense? Like she's a bronc. Like I don't want to break her spirit. Like she's got her thing, and like,
how do you judge that balance?
Yeah, I mean, if it's detrimental, like I feel like the cowboy's going to be unsafe to a point, I'll really work with them and try to keep them from
That's a funny statement to make.
Yeah,
if it's gonna be unsafe for him.
Yeah, right.
It's like, well, yeah,
yeah. I mean, and some of it's going to be unsafe anyhow, but like, you can't just take it all out of them.
Yeah,
like you breed them to do this. Like, I mean, 40 years of breeding program to make sure that that's what she does, and then be like, that's a little too much now. We need to knock it back.
Yeah, well, hell, like those, I mean, the barrel racers, man. I mean, because like I shod like mostly like futurity barrel horses, so it's like they were freaking wild.
Yeah,
and I mean, half of these things, like they were, I mean, damn near. I mean, that's like borderline, like not halter broke. You know, they're fraternity in these things.
Yeah,
and
big
like,
money.
And I honestly, they like most of them gals, they were like, I just wanted to run off with me, like straight up.
Like I'm gonna just controlled chaos. You know, controlled runaway.
So they don't want to get it out of them.
No,
like you want it to just go for it.
Yeah.
But still have a low. But at some level, that's genetics, right?
Yeah. So one thing we like, Craig's at home right now, breaking my yearling colts, like shoot breaking them, and like for 2 weeks, that's all we do is just get them gentle.
What's that process of shoot breaking them?
It's. I try to show them everything that may or may not happen, which I can't, especially like this is an elevated experience here at the NFR, like you can't really mimic, but you know, we'll turn on the boom box and be running around. We'll kind of flip our flags around and walk over them, and then we're rubbing on their bellies. And I mean, I'm just trying to get them to where they are not afraid of humans. Like they know that we're cool. Like everything's good. Like I want you to know that, but I don't want to get them to where a lot of people like it to where they're even coming up and eating grain out of your hand and stuff. And I just, in my opinion, I don't like to do that. We have a mutual respect, and I want you to do your job when the chute gate opens. And like, sometimes I feel like you can get them maybe a little too gentle, like to a certain point, obviously. So.
It's our super slick, our super slick Zed over there.
But
So does
Yeah.
that go the same way for bucking bulls?
You know, the buck and bull deal is a lot different, you know, and in the bovine, any sort like moving cows and everything is different than that. And that's like I said, the deal about the bucking horses is the only way you get better at it is doing it. But where do you do it at? Like, at what level do you go to a guy, stock contractor's house and say, I want to get better at being around bucking horses. So I'm going to like, they'd all be like, no. So, I mean, just because it's like, it's certain way to work them to where they're not worked up, but you're quiet and they do what you ask, but like you don't pressure them or push them. And so there's only 80 or 100 people in the world that have a bunch of bucking horses.
I have a theory. Our mutual friend Chancey Williams. Whenever we go to Nashville together, there's just like one bar we go hang out at like every night or whatever. We got our little cowboy hats on and stuff. And we stand in the corner and like we stick out like a sore thumb, you know. And fortunately, in the last few years, like cowboy is cool now, so people aren't quite as like aggressive towards us. But there's usually like some people that come up at some point. You real cowboy? And Chancey's like, wow, I'm just a little sheep farmer, a little sheep rancher, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, you know, I ain't no cowboy and stuff. And they give us a hard time and all that. But we were trying to figure out like what it is that like pisses people off about it. Because I have noticed that people that have been around livestock and more specifically horses, like have this sort of, I think if you're around them enough, it becomes like muscle memory to like move in a certain way.
Yeah.
And you do have I've seen people tell me that, or I've had people tell me that I kind of I guess have bad posture, right? And I sort of like slink around and it's like kind of slow but spending so many years with horses that are like not broke and like I got to find a way to get around them and drive a nail through their foot, you know? I don't know, man. It's like even like coming up to one, you know, and you're just sort of like, you know, like not really. And like when you're in a bar sort of doing that, I don't know, man. It's like it looks weird to people. And I think
you're exactly right. Like being around them and getting around an animal that like he sees everything, he feels your energy, everything. Like it changes you. Like it teaches you how to like be present, but like not be pressuring. You know,
that's the best way of describing it. Yeah, being present but not pressuring. But yet you still are in a way.
You are. Like I'm gonna walk to that corner to get you to walk to this corner, but I'm not gonna walk over there. I'm gonna wait till you say I'm gonna go over there for you.
And I'm willing
Does
to
that
like
make sense? Like
for sure. And I'm willing to like back away
and give you all the time you need to do it. Yeah.
That is interesting. And I think you do it enough, it becomes muscle memory. So yeah, that's probably like a different energy.
And that's what we have to teach the horses when we're shoot breaking them is like even in the back pens, like to be okay with people that don't know how to be around them, to just walk right up to the fence and be staring at them. And that horse just like doing that and them have no idea what they're doing. People are just like, man, that cool horse or whatever. And he's just about to crawl out of his skin.
Yeah.
And it's just like, for me, I'm just like, would you mind just stepping back just one step, please? Like trying to be the nice, because I want them to know. I want them to know that these horses are so cool and this and that, but let's do it over here. Like,
yeah, I guess that's the thing is they teach you so much about yourself. Like if you're willing to observe it.
Yeah.
Like it has way more, but most people go through their whole life and never, I mean, like with like training horses or, you know, you can sit there and get as mad as you want, but at some level, you're going to have to sit there and go, okay,
all right.
Clearly, I'm not communicating, right? Like this thing doesn't know what it wants you to do, and like but there's people that go through their whole life and never. Yeah. It's always something else's fault, right? Yeah. Somebody else's fault, and they never like have that self-awareness of like maybe I need to operate a little differently.
Yeah. It's an experience that it's like I said, somebody can't tell you like, hey, like, do you feel that? Because you do. You got to feel that you're in the wrong spot to tell yourself, and most people don't have that feel for them. You know what I mean?
So do you think that can be developed, or do you think that there's some people that just have a better intuition?
The more you do it, you can develop it. Absolutely. Okay. Some people have a gift for it, you know, and like I said, if you've been there and been with them your whole life, you don't know any different, you know. And the other ones that don't, like, it's going to take longer. You know, like Craig has worked really hard on learning it, you know, because he was a cattleman, you know, been around bulldogging horses and stuff. Like surely it's so different. And like he would tell you, like, the first time that he started sorting bucking horses, like, he didn't realize it was so different. Like, you can't tell somebody how different it is, because it's nothing worse than trying to like move a saddle horse around like you would a bucking horse. Like, they won't move forward. They're not like, I swear it drives me up the wall just because they won't, like, but the saddle horse, just go up there and lead him out. That's how he's taught. And that's how, like, a bucking horse, it's like a mix between like trying to herd a wild deer, like, you're just trying to get him to move. But like, I know I don't want to get like you're working him, but like, you're working him even though he's 20 foot away, and 6 inches to the right, I can make him move to the left. Like, is such a small movements,
Yeah, and making all that fluid,
yeah,
and effortless.
yeah,
you're at this point, you're not even thinking about it. It's just like second nature to you.
yeah.
So,
And like, for the rodeo, it makes such a big difference. Like, people don't understand that if I don't get that horse to the chute and in a really, really calm manner where he's not sweated up and everything, and then get it to where he understands once I'm in the chute and I've got kind of his safety blanket of the neck rope on, now he's comfortable and how he roll. Because if you don't have him to where all of that doesn't bother him, they won't have their day. Like, you can take the best day out of a bucking horse in 2 minutes. Like, it doesn't take long to get them sweated up, and then they're thinking about something else.
So behind the scenes, have there been some moments where you've like had to get after some people and gotten pretty angry?
I'm not known as the guy that keeps my mouth shut at all.
Okay.
I wished I'd do it better. I guess everybody kind of knows me as, like, if it needed to be said, it was already said. Like, and I'll be honest with you, I wish I'd bite my tongue a lot of times. But yeah, there's times loading livestock or working livestock is no different than being out at a branding and the head guy starts chewing your ass because you're in the wrong spot. Like, it's just like that. And I've had mine chewed a lot when I was younger. So knowing where to be and where not to be is a good thing. And it's not because I'm upset with the person. Like, I'm upset with the situation. And I don't know how many times I've had to apologize to people and be like, I just want to let you know that wasn't personal. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the situation. We need to do this differently. So,
and there's an urgency too that
that's
like,
the deal.
There's no time to not be direct.
It had to happen right now. Yeah. So that's how your voice and everything gets elevated.
I struggle with. I mean, I would say I do a relatively. I don't have like a super dirty mouth or anything like that, and like I don't curse a ton. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely times. Old Skeeter's gotten it.
Yeah,
for sure. And like, you gotta apologize afterwards. Like, it's more about. I think most people can take raising your voice or like being direct, but cursing
at them, and I'm terrible. I'll be honest with you. And I don't know how many times that Craig's had to apologize for me and just be like, he didn't mean it towards you. Just give him like 5 minutes and everything's good. Because I'll explain, this is why this happened, and this is, but they don't understand that, like, letting a horse go by you when you didn't ask him to taught that horse that he can do that and he'll never stop. Like, you know how hard it is to get that back out of them. And then once they do that more and more often, now all of a sudden they're harder to work, which gets everything kind of wild and riled up. And then they don't necessarily have their best day in the arena. And my job as a stock contractor to come in, that committee wants me to bring my very best horses. And I do. But if something happens in the back pins and I get that horse out of his element, he doesn't have his good day in the arena, the final product's the only thing that they care about, and the crowd themselves. Gosh dang, that horse wasn't very good. I can't believe you'd bring him. When, the week before, everything went perfectly and there are 89 points on him. But like, if things don't do that, and I will say setups are crucial for us. they don't handle the same. And if you have a really good setup, you know, we sell a lot of preferred arenas and a lot of back pins, and it matters which way you work them and which way your gates swing and which way all of that matters. It's funny because people will just be like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, you got some new pins. You're like, you don't realize how much it's going to elevate your rodeo to have a good back pin setup.
Yeah. What do you think are some of like the main like bullet point action items for a good setup?
Well, the main thing is to be able to sort them without making them move much. You know, not making them run a whole lot, or, you know, get sharp corners, like anything like that. You want to be able to go in and have enough pins that you don't have to go into a pin of 10 to get the one you want, because all of our stuff is very structured on our buck order. So I give a buck order to the Cowboy Channel, the announcers, the video board, the sound tech. Everybody understands exactly how I'm going to buck every horse, and that way they can build that performance, right? So we're building to get to the, you know, final guy on the final horse. I mean, that's why they have the best 5 guys go last at the NFR every night. Like that, we gotta still put on a show. So in like competition level obviously matters, but we got to make sure that those people get what they want. So when they come back, they're like, man, that was a great show. And it all starts with the back pin setup. I want to be able to go in, and earlier that day at 2:00 when we sort them, I want to be able to have everything stacked exactly how I'm probably going to load them, and enough pins that, you know, when I go to get my first horse, he's there in a pin, either by himself or with his buddy or next to his buddy. And when the only time that he's ever pressured away from his buddy is as soon as he goes in the buck and shoot. And as soon as we get that neck rope on, he's back to, okay, I know what's going on. Like, this is what, like, I'm cool. And not having those pins or having them split up or not, you know, like you said, going into a pin of 10 head to try to pluck out one, and you get them all riled up and they're, you know, bunched up. And by this time, usually national anthem, everything banging music. So you got to really have things set up prior to, you know, and having a good back pin set up to where they walk from their pin, go around. They've been loaded the exact same way since they were a yearling. Now at 10 years old, walk from my pin into the chute. I'm in the correct delivery because this is, you know, what I'm comfortable with, and then they have their day. But you get all of that out of sorts. And that's why the NFR is so hard. See, we don't work our own stock. They work them at different times, you know, and I understand why it has to be that way. Like, this is a different animal compared to our other rodeos. But
and then do y'all, is there something different with feeding them out here too?
Yeah. So they don't allow us to feed our own feed, and they have a feed crew feed them. You can go out and look at them, but really you're not supposed to do anything, which I understand why they have a feed crew. I mean, there's a lot of us that want to see them every day and are very strict on their feed program. And I mean, I feel is, other than their genetics, the only thing I can do to help that buck and horse is to be in the right shape.
But it does seem a little crazy to me to think that, like, they don't do that to the team ropers and barrel racers.
No, we can't even say, I mean, we have to put it on our feed records beforehand if we want to give them some meloxicam or, you know, if I know that horse gets sore, it'd be really nice to go out there and magna wave him, like, but not here. Like, it's tough. Like, I understand what they're trying to do. I understand that there's a protocol and there's a lot of guys that probably wouldn't take care of them and stuff. But like, for me,
at this
it's
level
so
out here,
hard. Oh yeah. The amount of stock contractors that have absolutely no animal sense, that are like complete just pig farmers, and it's
more prevalent than I would think.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll probably catch, you know, some hell for saying this, but like, out of 80 contractors that get here to go to the NFR, there's like 6 of us that go out every morning and look at our stock. And
that seems so insane, right?
To me. And we used to all the time, and then I'll skip once in a while, you know, if I got something. But I also know the superintendent really well, and he'll tell me if something looks off or whatever.
But that has to. The proof is in the pudding. Like,
well, they got here on a certain feed regimen, and they competed a certain way all year, and then they get out here and everything's different. It's like telling an Olympic athlete that so happy that you made the Olympics, but now when we go to China to the Olympics, I'm going to make you eat Snickers for 10 days and I'm going to expect you to have your best day, and I'm going to completely change how you've done everything.
And not to mention just stress. I mean, the environment and being out here, and you're here
we're on
for a long time.
We're on a soccer field, and they're pinned with a horse, you know, or pinned by themselves. Like Miss Valley's a mare, so I didn't put her with the 2 geldings I had out here, and she's, you know, been here and done that. So that's what's so cool about a horse that does well in the NFR is because, like, they have to be special.
They clearly had something different.
Absolutely, like they've got it down.
It is, yeah. It's just so insane. It's the exact same animal as any roper or barrel racer.
Yeah.
But yet, like, we're somehow going to treat them like it's a different.
Treat them differently, and
it's a different species.
Like I said, like I don't want to. I guess I don't want to say that they're not taking care of them because that's not the case. Like they're doing everything.
It's the matter of the
but
change.
It is, yeah. Like I am big on feed. You know, I feed Equilix. There's no sugars or starches in their diet. Like. And then, you know, when we get out here, and not saying that the feed that we have to feed out here, but it's all because of money, you know, it's a sponsorship and they take care of the feed. So that's what we're feeding. And I'm like, I'll gladly bring my own feed. And I'm not saying you can't be the ones that take care of them. When you get to my pen, would you feed my bag of feed or whatever rather than the one that you're telling me I have to feed? That's all I'm asking. You know what I'm saying?
I totally get it.
So it's tough because, and that's another deal. I've fought with the stock contractors numerous years. Like I've been on a lot of boards and I've fought with them a lot out here for quite a few years. And like being a steer wrestler and feed my own, like that's super important to me. And the one stock contractor, he's a Southern guy. He said, John, I don't know what you're worried about. They're feeding them, aren't they? Feeding them for you? I was like,
try saying that to any horse person.
Oh yeah, like
that's
even
wild.
the random like, you know, jackpot barrel racer. Like,
oh no,
you know what I mean? They'd probably be worse. You know?
No, they actually might be the worst.
Yeah. Like,
they actually might be the worst.
And there's lots of stuff that I disagree with a lot. What people do, you know, as far as nutrition and stuff, but. I take care of my horses a certain way, and that's how they competed all year to get here. You
talked about Magna Wave, right?
Yeah. So my wife, we got a
Have
Magna
you gotten into
Wave.
the AccuScope stuff?
Haven't yet. No.
Okay.
No. And it's different because same deal. Like how do you do that on a bucking horse?
True.
And everything changes a little bit on how which the Magna Wave has been good because you can do it and be kind of away from them. You know what I mean? Like
for sure.
You know, you don't have to have them halter broke or whatever. So
yeah.
But it's big, and you'll see a horse when they're off. Like I said, for a horse to have his day, he's got to feel the best.
Yeah.
Like they don't perform when they're sore.
How do you? Yeah. How does Magna Wave in them? How do you actually set? Like how do you? Get
I just put them in the buck and shoot. And
yeah.
then we got the big deal, and then I'll like a lot of times I'll work on their withers and their shoulders, and you know if something gets out their lower back because when they kick so hard, you know, and like even on their hips, you know.
All you got to do is like chiropract them.
Yeah. Just get after it. Yeah. And I've seen we've done a lot of it actually.
You have?
Oh yeah, we've done kind of the rubber mallets and find where they're out and do them, and they do that. You can tell immediately they'll go to licking their lips.
Really?
Yeah.
You do that in the chute too?
Yeah.
Man, the chiropractic thing is one that I still to this day. I know I've seen one lady really really good. I've seen her do it. For the longest time, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I wasn't real sure about it, but I had seen some pretty sketchy stuff go down with it too.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of like the way I look at it is, does it help me? And to a certain point, if it helps me, like I think it could help them to a certain point as well. Like there's also a lot of voodoo BS that probably goes on that, you know, but I really think that, you know, I Magna Wave, like my shoulders get sore. I've had numerous knee surgeries and shoulder surgeries throughout the years and stuff, and it really does help me. So I've seen it work. Like obviously I put it on bucking horses and, you know, they didn't have a very good day a week before. So I did it for, you know, a couple weeks before their next trip. And then they were really good again, you know, it just got them back to feeling good.
Yeah. Well, sick, man. We're going to have a good night tonight.
Yeah.
You've had a good week so far.
Great week. Like I said, Miss Valley, they were 87.5 on her, and we won the first round with Stetson on Big Shasta in the bull riding. So yeah, we've had a great week already, and it's tough. And like I said, it's tough to come out here and everything go completely right, and you need to have the right cowboy. You need to have the right, he needs to be in the right spot. You don't want him to be first out. And if he is first out, you definitely want Stetson. He's about the only guy that wins if you're first out. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
takes a lot. Your draw, the animal's draw of the cowboy is just as important to us as them drawing the right animal.
Yeah.
Like, it makes
no
a
doubt.
huge difference on what guy you have.
Yeah. Well, we'll get a go around tonight.
Yeah.
And then, you like how I say we?
Yeah, heck yeah. No, you definitely have to come up.
Yeah.
And then the nice thing is when Chancey's playing there,
I know.
Like, then it just the partying just kind of goes to a different level. You get the go round buckle, and then he's already back there, and then you just kind of stay in the back there, and then it just for some reason he can't get out of there. It's like
all right. So
quicksand.
if it goes down tonight,
Heck yeah,
we're gonna go watch Chancey play.
yeah.
And then we'll
That'd
party.
be awesome. Yeah, it's good. And like I said, thanks for having me on too. It's good to just BS about the stuff that people don't understand in our deal. So.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, totally. Well, thanks for doing it.
Yeah.
And we'll get you out of here.
yeah.
Cool, man. See y'all.
Adios. Bar with the daylight for it's the final